the front door with their hands up.
From the barricades
Wait for instructions.
to executing search warrants to finding the baddest of the bad. That's the daily job of Columbus's SWAT team.
Odds are normally on our side.
But this elite crew always trains for the unexpected.
We have to train continually to be proficient in that.
Only our camera allowed to show you this rare look.
Heads down, heads down. Heads down, hands up.
The team trains constantly. They are all expert marksmen.
We get weapons that most regular officers don't get, and we're trained with them.
Fire.
Training is key to their success, especially training for missions that don't happen all too often. For instance, I get to play a hostage on this Coda bus.
Hostage. Those things could happen.
If it does happen, they are prepared.
Everything from timing to the way you move to the way to go around that corner.
When the door opens, the slide actually comes out.
They rehearse and rehearse
So when you come in, you're...
so that each officer knows what to do.
Legs down, heads down, heads down, heads down.
Even if the target is, say, on a plane. In this exercise, the suspect takes over a plane full of hostages.
Everybody's trained. They train to know everybody's job.
We had plane full.
While we can't show you everything they do, we can show you how in sync with one another the training makes them. It forces them to move step by step, knowing what each other is supposed to do.
The goal is for no one to be injured, be it the citizen, the victim, the perpetrator, and the officers involved in the mission.
Keep moving, keep moving.
It's this team concept, they tell me, that keeps them safe. And while most of us would say the job is dangerous, they don't exactly see it that way.
We do get called to the most dangerous situations, which are dangerous situations. But we're trained for those situations. We have the numbers, we have the equipment, we have the training.
They also have the experience. Most have been a Columbus police officer for at least 20 years.
That gives us unique experiences to draw upon.
But what this team is not is overzealous. They stress the job is not how it appears in the movies.
When it comes time, we don't squeal our tires. We don't go in there like you see on TV and slide with the car and jump out.
There's a misconception is that we're all, in your face, thrive on maybe violence.
We're just doing tactics and good communication skills.
In fact, the officers are very methodical with their approach to every situation, and what you don't often hear are the personal sacrifices they make.
I have been into the movies, had to leave.
I've missed meals with my family. I've had vacations cut short.
As a 24-hour unit, they are always on call.
We travel separately because if I get called, I have to leave immediately.
This is just bad guys. Bad guys, really? Slow search bad guys.
We've got a lot of, I'll say, evil people in the world. And, they have their own agenda.
Which means scenarios like a plane rescue
Heads down, gun!
or a hostage situation on a bus aren't far-fetched.
Wonder that over there.
It's good to know no matter what they are thrown into, they have a plan to get people to safety.
Let's go, move, let's go.
In Columbus, I'm Maria Durant, ABC 6 News.
Can you feed the other baby some cereal?
In this home video from 2002, mother Nikki Waller records her kids playing. At first, when she turns to walk into this room, she doesn't even notice her 4-year-old son, Gavin. Then, in a panic, screaming for her husband, all after realizing and seeing her son hanging by a window blind cord wrapped around his neck.
I actually didn't have any memory of what happened from that point on.
It was while she was on the phone with 911 that Gavin gasped for air, breathing again and crying.
He's crying, he's making noises.
Can you breathe? I look at it and, to be honest with you, it's always unsettling to me, seeing me in the background there.
Gavin is now 17, going to school and working at this pizza shop. He's one of the lucky ones.
It can happen very quickly, and when it does, it's often final.
Tracy Meehan works at the Research Institute at Nationwide Children's Hospital.
No.
She says nearly one child dies every month in the U.S. from window cord strangulation, and many more are hospitalized.
Is that alarming to you?
It is, especially because this is something we can prevent.
To avoid strangulation and death, the Window Covering Manufacturers Association set a safety standard in 2012, something the entire industry follows today. It calls for tension and hold-down devices for continuous loop blinds.
Keeps it taut.
Exactly.
Toggles or cleats to tie up pull cords. And warning labels on the outside of blind boxes. These features, Gina Reeser says, protects her business and her customers.
Will the blind factory ever stop selling the ones with the cords?
No. There's no reason to. There's too many people who need a corded blind.
But some argue that safety standard doesn't do enough to protect children.
In an instant, our life was changed, all because of this.
Sally and Jim Reese know that all too well.
He was obsessed with parachute guys, G.I. Joe guys, Army guys. He had an adorable smile. He had a little dimple when he smiled.
It was at their Ohio home, summer of 2003. Charlie was 4, playing in a back room. Sally, Jim, and their older daughter were watching TV, and Sally was pregnant with twins. So Jim went to check on Charlie and made a horrifying discovery.
I just saw him by the window. I didn't realize what happened.
The Reeses think Charlie jumped off a couch, pretending to be a paratrooper with the cord tied around his neck.
He was purple. His lips started to turn purple.
It was just hard. And then the paramedics came and started to work on him some more.
He was flown by helicopter to a Cincinnati hospital, but Charlie didn't make it.
I definitely feel like I lost my best friend that day.
Charlie's older sister, Grace, remembers that tragic day even 12 years later.
It was so weird because I went from being, the older sister to being an only child.
There will always be a hole in my heart.
Parents are not to blame for this hidden hazard.
Consumer Product Safety Commission Chairman Elliot Kay was startled by case after case. He's pushing for a new mandatory standard that would ban blinds with cords. That would require regulatory action and cooperation by the industry.
I'm counting on them to do the right thing.
Today, a wide variety of blinds are made and sold. Some have added convenience and safety features. That includes more expensive cordless ones.
You can also do Roman shades in cordless.
If a corded blind is chosen, custom blind companies are required to install these cleats in your home. But then it's up to the parents to actually use them.
We went shopping and bought this corded blind for $5. It has a safety warning label. The cordless option was $15, and it also has a safety warning label, something it doesn't even need. The Consumer Product Safety Commission says that creates confusion.
One of those products is safe for children and one is not, but you would never know that by looking at the box.
Documents show the industry took aim at the proposed ban on corded blinds, accusing regulators of not knowing the industry and calling the analysis flawed.
She's wrapped in the cords.
Until then, Kay worries children will keep getting strangled.
We want to end the uncertainty and we want to end the deaths. And the way to do that is to only have safe products on the shelves.
Because of that product, we no longer have our child. Just calling my little Charlie bear. Just give him a big hug and tell him I love him.
Seems like every year we're upgrading to the next big thing. So what should we do with that old thing? Many try selling them without knowing what they're letting go.
If you just sell the phone, even if you've deleted things individually from it, they might not be gone.
Matt Curtin is a computer security expert with InterHack.
And what we're able to see is the name of the file here.
He agreed to help us with an experiment. We gave he and his team a bunch of phones people at our station were getting rid of.
It's good at pulling stuff off of ancient phones.
Most of the users had deleted their information, at least they thought.
You can go into the browser. The file that you have stored on the device is still there. You just don't know how to get to it.
And sure enough,
boy, there's a legal document.
Curtin and his team found what could be a treasure trove of data.
He definitely still has all his data on there.
We were able to flip through and see all kinds of pictures. We were able to see text messages. We were able to see contacts. We were able to see calendar appointments.
So how does this happen? Think of me as a computer, this filing cabinet, as my hard drive. Each drawer is a section of my hard drive containing my files, things like pictures, emails, or text messages. Experts say if you delete a file, all you're doing is just removing the label or the way for the computer to find it. The file is still there, and with the right tools, it could be found.
That's the reason why it's imperative that we need to protect ourselves.
Curtin says the best way to do that is enabling security features on your phone, like encryption. So even if a thief finds your deleted information,
Instead of seeing a picture of grandma, what they're going to see is a bunch of garbage because it's all of the encrypted data on there.
moving on from an old phone can bring some extra dollars. But experts warn to tread lightly, because in the wrong hands, your valuable information you thought was deleted.
So you just, all you needed was a map and you found it.
That's correct. Could be rediscovered.
It is approximately 10:40 p.m.
You can call them.
Here you go.
A serious buzzkill.
Who was under 21?
And the heads they leave spinning belong to those who they catch selling alcohol to minors.
We got a lot of young girls around here that don't look like it when you see their ID. You get used to seeing certain people. And
Make sure if they ask for your ID, you give it to them. If they ask how old you are, tell them the truth. Okay?
We rode around with the Ohio Investigative Unit.
So you guys can talk. All right.
Marysville Police.
Selling beer, intoxicating liquor to an underage person.
And Union County Sheriff's Office last month.
Ultimately, it's going to affect their business.
It is approximately 9:15.
Their attention is on this one 18-year-old girl.
There's people always behind you or in front of you, and they're like staring at you like, what is this girl doing?
Who will call Riley.
Utilizing confidential informant for a Union County alcohol compliance check.
The adrenaline just is like rushing, like, do they really just sell to me?
The team allowed us to shoot them from going store to store and record Riley trying to make a buy.
There you go.
Agents say the reason they do it is to clean up Ohio communities.
Bars lead into drugs. Drugs lead into gambling. Gambling leads into food stamp fraud, prostitution.
Is this evidence could wind up closing these places down?
How strong is that evidence in your type of case?
It's very strong.
Assistant Columbus City Attorney Bill Sperlaza took 28 businesses to task last year for underage sales, 3 times as many as the year before.
I think that some folks, some bars, some carryouts, they just don't care.
We take time to evaluate the evidence that is the result of the investigation.
And with an 83% success rate, he sent each case to the State Division of Liquor Control to prevent a permit renewal.
We don't pick on people. We operate on evidence and on facts.
Back in Marysville,
A confidential informant bought a strawberry Rita.
The team's 15th stop netted the first violation of the night at Village Pantry.
I checked everybody. I must have just, I don't know. I looked at her ID. I did. I just must not have added it in my head.
Clerk Robert Dixon has since pleaded guilty to selling alcohol to a minor, prompting a $500 fine, 3 years probation, and his termination.
What do? Do they retain you? Do they fire you? Do they
I'm pretty sure I just lost my job.
In Union County, Lisa Rontola.
Oh, this is lovely.
ABC 6 News.